The Galactic Council chamber was large and glowing. It floated in space near the center of the Orion Arm, where many stars and planets lived. The council was made up of leaders from many different alien worlds. They met to talk about peace, war, and the future of the galaxy. Today, the mood in the chamber was light. The council members had gathered to hear a report about a small human colony called Valis 7. It was a quiet world on the edge of known space, where a few thousand humans lived and worked. But trouble had come to Valis 7. Pirates attacked the colony, and there were rumors of many deaths. The council leader, Chancellor Virex, stood tall. His skin was a deep blue, and his eyes glowed faintly in the low light. He looked at the screens in front of him, which showed images of the destroyed colony, broken buildings, burned fields, and empty streets. "They are just humans," Virex said with a laugh. "They have no power, no great fleet, no strong weapons. Why do we care about their little world?" The other council members nodded or smiled. To them, humans were simple creatures, loud, emotional, and not very smart. They had only just learned to travel to space a few hundred years ago. Compared to the ancient alien races who had thousands of years of space travel, humans were still children. One council member, an elegant being named Saliera, raised a hand. "But Chancellor, the pirates were dangerous. They destroyed Valis 7. Should we not send help, or at least warn other colonies?" Virex shook his head. "No. The pirates are criminals. Let them deal with humans. If humans want protection, they must find it themselves. This is not our problem." The room was filled with quiet agreement. The council had bigger matters to worry about: trade agreements, border disputes, and rising tensions with the Dravak Empire. Humans were too small and too weak to be important, but in a far corner of the galaxy, things were very different. Commander Leona Idris stood on the bridge of the Resolute, a powerful human warship. The ship's sleek metal hull shone under the stars. Leona was young but strong. Her brown eyes were sharp and her face was calm but serious. She was a leader who knew how to take care of her people. The Resolute was far from Earth, near the edge of the galaxy. It was sent to watch over the human colonies and protect them from danger. Suddenly, an emergency signal appeared on the ship's screen. The signal was faint but urgent. It came from Valis 7. Leona's heart beat faster. She called her officers. "This is a distress call. Valis 7 is under attack." The officers checked the data. The message was broken but clear enough to understand. The colony was fighting for its life. Pirates had come, destroying buildings and hurting civilians. The colonists had sent the call before their communication systems were destroyed. Leona clenched her fists. "We must act. Send a full alert to Fleet Command. Prepare for immediate jump to Valis 7. Her second-in-command, Lieutenant Rami, nodded. "Orders received, Commander. Jump coordinates set." The Resolute shook as it powered up its faster-than-light engines. In moments, the ship vanished from one place and appeared near Valis 7. Back on the Galactic Council station, A.E. new report came in. "A pirate fleet has been destroyed," said the envoy nervously. 72 ships lost, no survivors. The attackers used unknown technology. But we found one clue. The attackers flew ships with Terran markings. Virex frowned. "What? Humans have no fleet this big. This must be a mistake." "No mistake. Chancellor, the wreckage shows human design." "Impossible," Virex said sharply. "Humans cannot fight a fleet like that." The council members exchanged uneasy looks. Meanwhile, near Valis 7, the Resolute moved carefully through the system. The planet below was silent. No signals. No signs of life. Leona looked at the screens. Scan for survivors. The ship's sensors searched the planet. They found a few small groups of colonists hiding underground. Weak, scared but alive. "We found survivors," Leona reported. "Send down teams to rescue them." The rescue ships quickly descended. The colonists were brought aboard the Resolute. They were tired, hungry, but grateful. An old man named Jarek told Leona what happened. "The pirates came fast and strong. We fought, but we were not ready. Many were lost. We sent the distress call hoping for help. Leona nodded. You're safe now. We will make sure this never happens again. On the Galactic Council station, fear was growing. The envoy reported again. The humans are moving fast. Their ships are appearing near key trade routes. They do not attack, but their presence is strong. Vyrex's face grew hard. Humans are no longer simple. Shall we send a fleet to confront them? Asked Saliara. No, Virex said. We must learn more first. Leona stood on the Resolute's bridge, watching the stars. She thought about her home, Earth, and the promise humans made long ago, to protect each other and stand strong together. She whispered to herself, they may think we are weak, but we are more than that. We will show them what it means to be human. The stars outside seemed to shine brighter as the Resolute prepared for what was coming. The stars were quiet as the Resolute left the orbit of Valis 7. Commander Leona Idris stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the distant planet shrinking behind them. The survivors were safe, but the scars on the colony ran deep. Below, in the ship's medbay, doctors worked tirelessly. The rescued colonists were weak, their faces pale and haunted by the terror they had lived through. Some had lost family, homes, and everything they had built. The air on the ship was heavy with grief and hope mixed together. Leona knew this was only the beginning. Back on Earth, the Terran Fleet Command was alive with activity. Admiral Tarek and Voss studied the reports from Valis 7. The colony's fall was a warning, a sign the galaxy might no longer ignore humanity. This attack shows the risks our colonies face, Tarek said, his voice steady but firm. We must act, not just react. His officers nodded. Orders were given to prepare the entire fleet. New warships were moved to forward positions. The Terran fleet was not large compared to the great powers of the galaxy, but it was fast, smart, and fiercely determined. At the same time, Earth's leaders issued a call to all human worlds. Every ship, every soldier, and every civilian was told, prepare for the worst, but believe in the strength of humanity. Far from Earth, in the dark corridors of the Galactic Council's Starspire Citadel, unease grew. Council members gathered again to discuss the strange and sudden rise of human activity near key systems. We cannot ignore the humans any longer, said Saliara, her voice sharp. Their ships move like shadows. No one knows where they go or what they want. Virex, the Chancellor, paced slowly. They have never shown power before. Why now? What changed? An advisor spoke up. We believe they are responding to Valis 7, but their actions go beyond simple defense. Their fleet is growing. Reports say new ships appear overnight as if from nowhere. Virex's face tightened. We must watch closely, but do not provoke them. Humans are unpredictable. Back aboard the Resolute, Leona was not surprised by the Council's fear. She had seen too much to believe humans were weak. We're not just survivors, she told her crew. We're fighters. We protect our own. Valis 7 was the first test. The galaxy will see what comes next. Her words sparked quiet determination in the ship's crew. They were ready to face any danger for their people. Suddenly, the ship's sensors picked up a signal. It was faint but clear. Another human colony in trouble. Valis 8, a planet close to Valis 7. Leona's jaw tightened. Set course for Valis 8. Prepare for combat. As the Resolute jumped through space, a shadow fell across the Galactic Council chamber. A new report arrived. This one more troubling. The pirates near Valis 7 were not the only ones destroyed, the envoy said. Several pirate fleets along the trade routes have been wiped out. No signs of survivors or wreckage. Only scorched space where they once flew. Virex's eyes narrowed. And you say these attacks are linked to humans? Yes, Chancellor. Witnesses say the ships involved carry human emblems, but these ships are unlike anything we have seen. The Council fell silent. The idea of humans suddenly destroying pirate fleets without a trace was frightening. Saliara spoke softly. They are becoming more than simple humans. They are becoming a force. The Resolute arrived at Valis 8. The planet was under siege, with pirate ships orbiting and firing at the surface. Smoke rose from cities below. Leona's crew sprang into action. Fighter squadrons launched, weaving through enemy fire. The Resolute fired its main cannons, targeting pirate command ships. The battle was fierce, but the humans fought with a fierce will. Their ships moved with precision and bravery. Slowly, the pirates were pushed back. Leona watched the battle unfold on her screen. "We saved Valis 8 today," she said. "No one threatens our people." The pirates retreated into the darkness, beaten but alive, for now. As the dust settled, Leona received a secure message from Fleet Command. "Commander Idris, you have our full support. Prepare for further missions. The Terran fleet mobilizes. The galaxy watches." Leona nodded. "Understood. We will not let Valis 7 happen again." Back in the council chamber, the mood had shifted from laughter to fear. Virex said quietly, "We underestimated them. We thought humans were weak, slow, and small. But now they are strong, fast, and angry." Saliara agreed. "They protect their own with a fire we did not expect." Virex looked out the window at the stars. "We must prepare. The humans are not just survivors anymore. They are a warning." In the quiet moments on the Resolute, Leona reflected on what lay ahead. She thought about her crew, her people, and the long road to peace and safety. "We fight not because we want war," she said softly, "but because we want to live free, and we will never stop fighting for that." The stars outside shone with promise and danger. The echo of Valis 7 was only the start. Commander Leona Idris stood on the bridge of the Resolute, her eyes sharp as she scanned the stars ahead. The recent battles near Valis 7 and Valis 8 had changed everything. The human fleet was no longer just a small group of protectors. It was becoming something greater, a force that the galaxy had never seen before. The Resolute was now joined by other Terran ships. Fighters, cruisers, and dreadnoughts moved in perfect formation through space. The humans called it the Terran Armada. To others it was a warning. Far away in the cold halls of the Galactic Council's Starspire Citadel, whispers of fear had grown louder. Council members who once laughed at humans now spoke in hushed tones. "They move like shadows," said Saliara, her eyes wide with concern. "Silent ships appearing near our trade routes. No communication, no attacks. Yet their presence is impossible to ignore." Chancellor Virex frowned deeply. "This is not a game anymore. Humans are testing us." At the edge of the Orion Arm, a patrol fleet of the Zentari, one of the Council's strongest allies, moved cautiously. Admiral Saren, Valos led the fleet, his dark eyes scanning the void. They had orders to investigate strange signals and disappearances near key systems. The patrol was on high alert. Suddenly their sensors picked up a large object, a massive ship unlike any they had seen before. It was the size of a small moon, covered in dark armor plates and no visible markings. The ship moved silently, almost like it was watching them. "Report!" Admiral Valos barked. The communications officer shook his head. No response. No identification signals. Valos felt a chill. "Prepare for possible engagement. Keep weapons ready." The giant ship was the flagship of the Terran Armada. Called the Archangel, it was a symbol of human strength and unity. Its captain was unknown to the Council but feared by many. The Archangel did not fire first. Instead, it moved with calm purpose. The Zentari fleet held position, waiting for a sign. Suddenly, the Archangel decloaked, revealing its full size. Its weapon systems powered up, and the human fleet appeared behind it. Dreadnoughts, cruisers, and fighters in perfect formation. The Zentari fleet was outnumbered and outgunned. Admiral Valos gave the order to attack. The battle was fierce, but quick. Human ships used advanced tactics and technology. The Archangel fired powerful energy beams that disabled multiple Zentari cruisers. Fighters swarmed the enemy ships, targeting weak points with deadly precision. Within minutes, the Zentari fleet was defeated. Only a few ships managed to escape. Valos' ship was badly damaged. He watched helplessly as the human ships held their formation, unmoving except to fire when needed. When the fighting stopped, the humans sent a message. "Humanity does not forget," the message said. It was simple, clear, and terrifying. The council received the news in shock. The idea that humans could destroy a powerful fleet in minutes changed everything. Back on the Resolute, Leona heard the report of the battle. She smiled quietly. "We are no longer just defending," she said. "We are protecting the future of humanity." Her crew felt the same fire. They were ready to face the galaxy's dangers. The council scrambled to respond. New orders were sent to fleets across the galaxy. The threat of the Terran Armada was real and growing. But Earth remained silent. No diplomats, no messages. Only the movement of ships and the power of the human fleet. Leona sat alone in her quarters thinking about the coming days. She knew the council would try to find weaknesses. They would look for ways to stop humanity. But she also knew this was the moment humans had waited for. The moment when they would no longer be ignored or dismissed. In the shadows of the council chambers, a secret meeting took place. Some members spoke quietly. "We must find a way to talk to them," one said. "Or risk war." Another shook his head. "Humans do not seek war. But if pushed, they will fight with everything they have." Virex watched silently, knowing the path ahead was uncertain. The Archangel led the Armada through space, silent and powerful. Human ships moved like a wave, ready to protect their own and show the galaxy that humanity was no longer weak. Leona stood on the bridge, her eyes shining. "Let them see what it means to be human," she said. The stars waited, watching the rise of a new force. The Starspire Citadel was usually calm and orderly. It floated like a shining jewel in space, the center of power for the Galactic Council. But now, inside its grand halls, panic was growing. Council members whispered urgently to one another. The Terran Armada had appeared in more places than anyone expected, ships cloaked in darkness moving close to council worlds and trade routes. No attacks, no threats, just presence. But that presence was a warning. Chancellor Virex sat in his high chair, frowning deeply. Reports came in one after another. Ships missing, communications cut, patrol fleets turned back without explanations. The humans were silent and deadly. "We must act," Celiara said, standing before the council. Her voice was strong but worried. "They are testing us, watching our borders. We cannot ignore this." Virex shook his head slowly. "No rash moves. We don't know what they want. We must try to understand before we fight." A younger member spoke up nervously. "But Chancellor, what if they are preparing for war?" Virex looked at him coldly. "Then we prepare. But first we must talk. We must try." Across the galaxy, Earth and the Terran fleet were silent. No messages to the Council, no demands. Only movement. The human ships grew in number. More colonies sent ships to join the Armada. Humans from all over the galaxy gathered, ready to protect their own. Commander Leona Idris stood on the bridge of the Resolute, her face calm but firm. "We do not want war," she told her crew, "but we will not run from those who threaten our people." Her officers nodded. They knew the cost of war. They had seen the pain on Valis 7 and Valis 8. But they also knew the cost of weakness. Suddenly, the ship's sensors picked up an unusual signal. A council messenger ship was approaching. The message was simple. A request for communication. Leona exchanged a quick look with her first officer. "Prepare to receive them," she said. The council envoy arrived aboard the Resolute in a small, sleek ship. The council members inside looked tired and nervous. Leona met them on the bridge. "Welcome," she said quietly. "You are safe here." The lead envoy, a tall being named Kralos, bowed slightly. "We come with words from the council," he said. "They wish to understand your intentions." Leona nodded. We protect our people, we want peace, but we will not allow more attacks on human worlds. Kralos looked relieved but cautious. The Council fears your growing power. We want to find a way to avoid conflict. Leona's eyes hardened. We do not want conflict either. But peace must come with respect. Back in the Council chambers, the news of the envoy's visit caused mixed reactions. Some members called for cooperation. Others warned that the humans were too dangerous to trust. Chancellor Virex spoke again. We must listen, but be ready. If the humans move against us, we will fight. Saliara nodded. I agree, but I hope it does not come to that. On the Resolute, Leona and Kralos talked late into the night. They shared stories of loss and hope. The humans spoke of their colonies, their history, and their promise to protect each other. Kralos shared stories of the Council's fears and challenges. Slowly, a fragile understanding grew. But not all on the Council were pleased. A secret group, known as the Shadow Fangs, met in hidden chambers. They believed the humans were a threat that must be destroyed. Their leader, a fierce warrior named Zarn, said, "The humans grow strong. They must be stopped before they take more worlds." His followers agreed. Plans were made to attack human colonies and weaken the Armada. Back on the Resolute, Leona sensed danger but kept her focus. We will protect our people, she said, no matter the cost. The Terran Armada continued to grow. Ships moved closer to Council space, silent but clear in their message. The galaxy was watching. In the Council chamber, Chancellor Virex stared out at the stars. They are no longer just humans, he said softly. They are something new, something to be respected or feared. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. The galaxy would never be the same. The Archangel moved silently through space, the great Terran dreadnought cutting through the darkness like a blade. It was the flagship of the Terran Armada, a symbol of human strength and unity. Commander Leona Idris stood on its bridge, ready for a moment that had been coming for a long time. Ahead lay the Starspire Citadel, the shining home of the Galactic Council. For years, the Council had ignored humanity. They called humans weak, unimportant, even silly. But now, here was the Terran Armada, appearing at their doorstep with power no one could deny. Inside the Citadel, panic had given way to tense silence. The Council was ready for what was coming, but they did not know what to expect. Chancellor Virex stood before the assembly. The Terrans have come to speak, he said quietly. Let us hear what they want. The great doors of the Citadel opened and the Archangel docked. The Council watched as Commander Leona Idris walked alone through the halls, dressed in her matte black uniform, calm and steady. No guards, no weapons visible, just a woman walking with purpose. She entered the grand chamber. The room fell silent. All eyes were on her. Leona spoke clearly, her voice strong but calm. I come with a message. She paused, letting the weight of her words sink in. Return our people from Valis 7. A murmur ran through the Council members. Some looked surprised, others nervous. Leona continued. Those people were taken. They are not lost. We know. The Chancellor's face grew pale, but Valis 7 was destroyed. There were no survivors. Leona's eyes locked on his. We will find them, and if you do not help us, we will come for them. The room was silent. Outside the chamber, whispers spread quickly. Some Council members wanted to fight. Others feared what humanity might do. Leona waited. She knew the Council was unsure, but the message was clear. Humans did not forget. They did not forgive easily. Back on the Archangel, Leona prepared for what might come next. She spoke to her crew. We gave the Council a choice. Now we wait. The crew felt the weight of the moment. They had come so far. Now the future depended on the Council's answer. Days passed. Finally, a message arrived from the Council. They agreed to help. Survivors from Valis 7 were returned to human space. Some were prisoners, others lost to harsh conditions but alive. Leona felt a quiet victory. The Council had learned the cost of underestimating humanity. The news spread across the galaxy. Humans were no longer the weak creatures the Council once thought. They were a people united, fierce in their loyalty, and powerful beyond belief. In the Council archives, a new warning was written. Do not provoke the humans, they are just human, and that is why they are unstoppable. Commander Leona Idris looked out at the stars from the Archangel's bridge. The galaxy had changed. Humans had made their mark and the future was theirs to shape. The galaxy had changed forever. Where once the Galactic Council dismissed humanity as weak and unimportant, now every world whispered the name Terrans, a people united by fierce loyalty, unyielding courage, and a will that burned brighter than the stars. Commander Leona Idris stood on the bridge of the Archangel, gazing out into the endless black. The stars twinkled, but her mind was focused on the future, a future built by humans for humans and protected by their strength. The return of the Valis 7 survivors was a turning point. The Council had sent them back, battered but alive. It was a sign that humanity's voice could not be ignored, but peace was fragile. Within the Council, some members still viewed humans as a threat. Secret meetings continued. The Shadowfangs, the secret group that had once plotted to destroy human colonies, now worked quietly to undermine the fragile peace. On the Terran side, Leona knew the risk. We won't trust the Council fully, she told her officers, but we will hold to our promise. Protect our people no matter the cost. Her words were firm. The crew nodded. They had seen betrayal before and would be ready. Meanwhile, the Council began to change. Some members argued for closer ties with humanity. They saw value in learning from the humans, their resilience, their courage, and their unbreakable spirit. Others feared the rise of Terran power. They whispered of alliances, of weapons, and of war. In the midst of this, the Terran Armada did not rest. Ships patrolled borders, colonies rebuilt. Humans reached out to neighboring species, not as conquerors, but as partners. They shared technology, medicine, and stories. Leona believed this was the true power of humanity, strength with heart. One day, a Council ambassador arrived aboard the Archangel. She was a tall, graceful woman named Saria, known for her wisdom and fairness. Commander Idris, Saria said, the Council wishes to build a new future with humanity. Leona looked at her carefully. Words are easy. Actions are what matter. Saria smiled softly. Then let our actions speak. Together they began to plan joint missions, helping planets in danger, sharing knowledge, and standing against true threats like the mercenary pirates who once attacked Valis 7. For the first time, humans and many Council species worked side by side. But not everyone welcomed this change. The Shadowfangs grew bolder, launching small attacks on Terran outposts and diplomats. Each time, the Terran Armada responded quickly, protecting their people and refusing to be provoked. Leona faced these challenges with steady resolve. We will not be the ones to start war, she told her commanders, but we will finish it if we must. The galaxy watched as humanity rose, not through conquest but through courage, unity, and the unshakable promise to protect their own. No longer dismissed as weak, humans had become legends. As Leona stood, once more on the bridge, she thought of the long road that had brought them here. From the attack on Valis 7 to the Great Armada's arrival at the Council, the journey was hard and full of sacrifice, but it was worth it. Because humans were more than just humans, they were unstoppable.